Thanks for staying with us. So we're starting today with our Let's Talk segment. Last week, the Supreme Court granted full financial autonomy to local governments, meaning that it is unconstitutional for state governors to hold funds allocated to local government administrations. Joining us on the show is Senator Sunday Steve Karimu, representing Kogi West Senatorial District, Kogi State. He's also the chairman of the Committee on Senate Services. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Let's start with the judgment. What was your own initial reaction when you heard this landmark judgment from the Supreme Court last week?
Okay. Let me first say something that the opinion I'm going to express here is my personal opinion, not the opinion of the National Assembly as a whole. Okay. In the first place, I will give kudos to the Minister of Justice and the Attorney General of the Federation, representing the government of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for bringing this case to the Supreme Court. Okay. You find out that in the last few years of our democracy, the top tier of government, the local government, has been completely taken over by the state government. The government at the grassroots is not there. Yeah. What we have in most states of the Federation as a local government administration is nothing to write home about. Okay. So the Supreme Court has put a stop to that. And the Supreme Court is a court of constitution, is a court of policy. They have given us a policy direction. And we all have to abide by that direction. Power has been restored back to the people. And we thank President Tinubu for this action.
So, okay, go ahead.
What do you think this means for regular Nigerians listening? What would it mean, or what would we see differently going forward? What would be the ideal given this case, this judgment?
What we are going to see differently is the fact that revenue accruing to local government has to go directly to the local governments. Okay. What we had before is a situation where, because of Section 162, subsection 5 and 6 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which gave state government to set up an account known as JAC, so that they are the custodian of revenue accruing to local government from the Federation account. When they have the custody of these monies, the Constitution doesn't give them power to spend it on behalf of the local government. But most states of the Federation, they've been spending this money without even allowing the local governments to take charge of their local government. They are just glorified local government chairmen. So, the Supreme Court had made a policy now. We need to go back and do our work in the National Assembly. We are supposed to scrap Section 5 and 6. Subsection 5 and 6 of Section 162. Okay. Because with the Supreme Court judgment, those sections are now null and void.
Which sections are these, please? Could you tell us which sections you're talking about?
I'm talking of Section 126, subsection 5 and 6.
Because the reason I'm asking is because Afenifere Chief Debanjo was saying that this judgment is a conspiracy against democracy. He's saying that rather than the Supreme Court to have interpreted the Constitution to uphold its elementary but overriding federal principle, which recognizes only two tiers of the federal structure of the central government and federal states, it only played to the gallery by allowing itself the most retrogressive declaration that the power of the government is portioned into three arms of government. So as a Nigerian, we get confused because we were told that it's three arms, but he's saying that what the Constitution is two tiers. So
let's go back to the Constitution.
Okay.
Section 1, 26, subsection 1, talks about how funds of poor accruing to government, how we're supposed to share it. Subsection 2 of that also talk about FAC, setting up an account known as FAC. Subsection 3 talk about, I'm talking of subsection 3 of section 162, talk about funds accruing to the federal government ought to be shared by the 3 tiers of government, not 2 tiers.
Okay.
3 tiers specifically. The federal, the state, and the local government. But unlike 1989 Constitution, where it was stated that the funds for the state, for the local government, has to go directly to the local government account. That is 1989 Constitution.
Okay.
1999 Constitution created subsection 5 and 6 that says funds accruing to local government will go to an account called JAC
Okay.
in the state, from where it will be distributed, disbursed to the local government accounts.
Okay.
So because of this lacuna,
Okay.
the state government, most states of the federation, when this money get to JAC,
Hold on to it.
Yeah.
they hold on
They
up
don't
to
release it, yes.
it and spend it the way they feel like,
Yeah. So,
thereby taking over the power
The local
of
government.
the local government.
government, yes.
So what this government has done, and what Supreme Court has done, they have the power to do that.
Okay.
The Supreme Court is the policy-making court.
Okay.
When there's a lacuna in the law, the Supreme Court is there to correct it.
Yeah.
And what they have done is to correct it in favor of the people.
Yes.
What they have done is to correct it in the favor of the masses of this country.
Yes.
Power at the grassroots is totally eroded. Local government administration is not there.
Okay, let me ask you a question, sir. I agree, absolutely agree with your opinion, and that was also my view when, the news broke. Because I know that in school we were taught that we run a federal system of government, and it's 3 tiers of government that we have, which is the federal, the state, and the local government. Only for me to be hearing that it's 2 tier now, I was now confused. They were lying to us while we were in school at the time. But now I know that this came because there was a problem on ground, which was that the states took over the money supposed to be allocated to the local government and did not give them an opportunity to connect to the people by doing the things they needed to do for the people. And this is now reversing it back. But I want to ask you a question directly. How do you think the people can now hold the local government accountable? That's the crux of this whole thing. How do we ensure that they also do not take the money like the states have done and use it for things not for the benefits of the common man?
Okay,
do we have the power to do that?
Thank you. First of all, power belongs to the people.
Now, so they tell us.
What we need to do, we will still do. How elections are held in the local government.
Okay.
That is what we need to attend to.
Yep.
Okay.
The 3rd schedule of the Constitution, there's a section there that gives power to the set-up state independent electoral commission. We have to amend that section by all means so that INEC we conduct free, fair, and qualitative election in the local government.
Okay.
Not that they will just pick some people. Did you see what is happening in our states?
Yeah.
I'm talking of the states of the Federation as a whole.
Yeah.
If APC is ruling in Lagos State, APC must win all
The local government.
local government election in Lagos. PDP is ruling in Delta, they will win it 100%. They don't do any election, they just write result. I can tell you here. In that election, let's have real election so that APC can win some
Local government.
local government, PDP win some, and we are going to have people that are democratically elected in the local government. If you vote for me today and I didn't perform well, tomorrow you throw me out. That is how it is done all over the world. But here, the kind of election we are running in that we are calling election in the local government, in the state, it's just an unpick somebody and tell them to write the short and that's all. So, if at all we are going to have to be able to ask questions and hold our people accountable, let's have credible election.
We'll come to that in a second because I know that there's a conversation on ensuring that it's INEC that handles these elections. Topo was going to say something.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask you a question. This law obviously seemed to have the support of many people. Many Nigerians have been clamoring for development closest to home, and they feel maybe if they give more money to the local government chairman directly, they will be able to be more effective. But even with the structure as it is, we've heard stories of how local governments, some local governments are carrying Ghana must go because that's like there's no bank within the vicinity. We're making it look like there are some areas where there is no way to check how the money is being collected, how the money is being spent, because the local government probably has just one bank and majority of people they are dealing with do not have accounts. So how do we ensure there's accountability and we don't have impunity? There is also a part of the conversation that San Ozekome came up with, the fact that all the caretaker committees, a majority of the states, about 22 of them, have caretaker committees and, caretaker...
462 local governments are
just under caretakers. They were sacked illegally and we're not having justice taking place within those places. So how we sure that when we now give these people money, we will not have another set of impunity, people that are very strong and have money to fight the law, employ lawyers, keep the case in court for the next few years until they're out of power.
Okay.
I'm not giving this one.
In the first place, talking about caretaker committee. Caretaker committee is illegal. Caretaker committee is against the Constitution because the Constitution recognizes the fact that people that will govern local government has to be duly elected. So those states that are appointed caretaker, they are at variance with our Constitution. And with the judgment of the Supreme Court, they have no option than to retrace their step and hold credible elections. When you are talking of some local government not having banks, and it's not true. There is no local government that you go in Nigeria that you don't have banks. Even now, how do they pay the local government workers? They pay them through the banks. And when you are talking about corruption, let me say something. Having funds available to local government in the hand of 36 state governors, or having it in the hands of 774 people, either you like it or not, it also reduces corruption.
Yeah.
Because these 774 people will connect with the people. More than 36 governors. And we are not here trying to say that all our governors are corrupt. But let's play by the rule. Let's play by the Constitution. The Constitution doesn't give state governor the power to take over the functions of the local government at all. So what the Supreme Court has done is to say enough is enough. The Constitution is there. The Supreme Court has the power to to make constitution. When they have made a policy direction, that is the final. So the Supreme Court is a constitutional court. When the Constitution is being interpreted wrongly, the Supreme Court is there to say this is the way.
Okay. All right.
And that is what President Tinubu has done for us. This problem has been there for how long? Okay. We have not been able to solve it. We have been trying to amend the Constitution in the National Assembly to solve this problem. When it gets to some state, they will not agree. But the Supreme Court has put a stop to it. And we thank the President for that.
Right.
Okay, so, earlier I asked the question, I think I still need an answer. So, now we have empowered the local governments financially. And for me, I'm thinking we'll have better primary healthcare centers, schools, all the things, the infrastructure at the grassroots. But we have had conversations. The reason why governors have justified holding on to these funds is that, some of them maybe are not as the caliber of people who run for office at the grassroots. Either they are not well educated or well exposed or so there's something lacking that they are unable to meet, grassroots demands. So what do you say about that?
Come on. The Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria set up the qualification requirement for election. Okay. I want to tell you here, the qualification requirement for president, for governors, for national and state assembly members, and local government chairman, they are the same. So it is now left for you, the people. If a party presents a candidate for you, that the local government people feel will not be able to manage the account of their local government well, that will not be able to run the government well, they have the power to reject such people. Leave the people to decide. A situation where those that are running local government are unpicked. That is where you have this problem. If you say the governors are saying that they are holding the money because they can do because they can do it better, who gave them the power? Okay. They have no such power. The Constitution doesn't give them that power.
Sir, that people, we will say that the governors do not have the power, no constitution is backing it, but they've done it for several years and they've gotten away with it. So it makes you feel like,
they are hiding on that section. I'm sorry, I'm saying section 126 subsection 5 and 6. That is what they've been hiding under to do it. Oh. Now, the Supreme Court has ruled against that section. It is now our responsibility in the National Assembly that subsection 5 and 6 is now outlawed.
Okay, so, the governors, obviously, many governors are totally against this. We're saying Seyi Makinde, I don't know the word to use. He somewhat dismissed it in his
dismissed Supreme Court position.
So he didn't bother about it, and he said that there are more important things for us to focus than that. Oh wow! Other governors some governors actually condemned it, saying that it's totally against our current system. Just everybody's going back and forth debating it. But I'd like us to use this show to educate Nigerians to understand the kind of power that's been given to them, because we hear it all the time. We know about it, but we don't understand the gravity or the magnitude of what we're talking about. So I hear what Mariam is saying, that, okay, so we've elected regular folks. Maybe people have been appointed as the person in charge today. Now they've been empowered financially. There's a possibility that many of them might not be able to handle these funds properly and misuse it. But the beauty of it is that because they are so close to the people, we can actually literally hold them accountable. They're closer to us. Yeah. So I'd like you to use a few moments to help Nigerians understand the benefits of this new power that's been given to Nigerians.
Can I add a little to that, so just for context? So do we now begin to ask them for the local government budgets? Every local government should be able to present their budgets, pop and plain. Then we also ask them where the money is going to, which projects have they done from time to time, and also monitor. So we have a lot to do as the citizens of each locality. Yeah. Yes, so just add more on what we can do to show that we actually now have the power.
Okay. let me first say that the local government administration, they have their own constitution. They are councillors,
Yes.
they are council chairmen, and all that. In the nooks and crannies of this country, we have men that are capable to run and manage a local government effectively.
Okay.
We have so many idle people all over the place that are very, they are people that
Competent.
competent. Let them run for offices. Let's get them elected. Those days, we have local government doing a lot in infrastructural development, constructing culvert, bridges, managing sanitation work in the
Market areas.
market areas, running health centers and all that. But you don't see that going on lately. So what this decision of the Supreme Court has done is to take back development to the people. To take back development into our communities. To take the cash flow in the communities now will be very high. And it will affect the economy of our communities. So let this be taken back to our people. Power is being restored to them. Funds are coming to the local government for people to manage. People that will run from the local government to the state headquarters to Abuja looking for businesses and all that. Businesses will now be available for them in the local government. And that is what this government has done for our people. That is what this government has done for the grassroots of the masses of this country. So, anybody that is against that is against the people of the country.
So, for example, now, let me just give I like what you just said. So, for example, you are traveling all over, they're looking for, there's this one emperor per state, governor of the state, all that one, that's because they're emperors. Now, that power has been somewhat taken from them and given back to the local government. So what that means is that, so you see the gutters are really clogged up. Instead of waiting for somebody, you as a private person, you know what, I can get a contractor to actually clear all the gutters in Koshofe local government or in this Ikeja local government. Let me go and talk to my chairman. Chairman, this is my proposal. Let me do this. I'll handle it. And he can monitor easier because he's in Koshofe. He drives there everything. He lives there. So instead of you traveling to Abuja, going to go and look for one senator, one clinical for contract, coming to disturb you.
Who may not understand the pain because he's not in Koshofe.
Here, come on, the job is here. That's what you just said. But let me go on the break. When we come back, take this further. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.